Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Ghani Zavier Prasetyo, and I'm gonna present to you my book report called The Maze Runner by James Dashner. The table of content that I'm gonna be presenting today is one introduction to literacy elements, which consist of settings, characterization, theme, action, conclusion, and moral value. Introduction. The author of the novel The Maze Runner is James Dashner. He's born on November 26, 1972. He's an American writer who is known for his books uh, named The Maze Runner and the young adult fantasy series The 13th Reality. His books are primarily aimed at children or young adults. About the novel. The Maze Runner is a 2009 dystopian novel by American author James Dashner. It takes place in a world suffering from a coronal mass ejection and whose surviving civilization fight to avoid a apocalyptic illness called the flare. It is written from the perspective of Thomas, a 16-year-old who wakes up with no memories inside an artificially produced maze, an organization called Wicked. Controls the world politically, seeks a cure to the flare, and uses the youngest generation of civilization who are immune to it as test subjects. Settings. First, the glade. The glade is surrounded by four giant walls, who is covered with thick moss. Uh, the glade is the glade is the first place uh, who who is introduced and where it all started. Uh, Next up is the maze. The maze is a really gigantic maze which has terrifying creatures called the Grievers to stop the glade to getting out of the maze, and the walls move every single night. The main theme of The Main Runner by James Dashner is survival and the search for identity in the face of adversity. The novel focuses on a group of teenagers who are trapped in a mysterious and ever-changing maze with no memory of their past. As they struggle to find a way out, they must work together, confront fear and danger, and learn to trust each other. Characters. First, first is Thomas. Thomas is a teenage boy who enters the glade with no memories other than his first name. Although Thomas comes to the glade scared and confused, he shows himself to be brave, resourceful, and strong-willed, and he saved the lives of the gladers. Newt is a former runner who served as second in command after he is injured in the maze. Newt is Alby's closest and most trusted ally. Like Alby, Newt believes in order. He is kind, friendly, and trustworthy, motivated by his care for the Glade's residents. His intelligence and fairness help him step up to lead when circumstances call for his authority. Next up is Alby. Alby was the first in command of the Gladers and former runner. He was the first person who introduced and welcomed Thomas to the Glade. It was mentioned in Scotch Trials and Fever Code that he was one of the first 10 Gladers to enter the Glade. Mino is in charge of leading the other runners through the maze, confrontational, and somewhat impulsive. Mino leads by intuition rather than thought out planning, which sometimes gets him into trouble. Mino, however, he is always willing to own up to a mistake he's made, which makes him a trustworthy and loyal friend to Thomas. Gally is the keeper of the builders. Gally is a loudmouth bully. As the main antagonist, he makes no secret of his dislike and distrust for Thomas. In spite of his bull-headed demeanor, Gally cares about the safety of the glade, which is why he's a stickler for rules. Culture. The main culture of the Masonic is the maze. Mazes were significant for spiritual pur- purposes in Greek mythology, and the labyrinth was designed by Daedalus and commissioned by King Minos. The labyrinth symbolizes the challenge of life and the need for courage and determination to overcome them. The labyrinth also serves as a symbol of change and transformation, which has been the main part of Maze Runner is to escape the maze. Action. Prob the problem is the gliders are trapped in a mysterious maze that changes its configuration every night. The maze is filled with terrifying creatures and called the Grievers, and it's constantly shifting, making it nearly impossible to find an escape route. The glider's main task is to figure out how to escape the maze while surviving the threats inside it. Try to solve how to defeat them or how to escape from the train at the glade because the maze is really big and we need to be really athletic to run and have great stamina. Conclusion. This book is really good and have great plot twists. I read this since boarding school and it really kept me entertained. I haven't read any of the other books except this one, but I'm really looking forward to it. I recommended this book to other people that are looking for a fast-paced novel. The moral value is true bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. The novel teaches that courage is not about being fearless, but about facing one's fears, even when the odds seem stacked against you. The hadith said from Abu Hurairah, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "A strong person is not one who is good at wrestling. Truly, a strong person is one who is able to control himself when he's angry." Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.